So today we will be discussing regarding numericals from the fifth module, analysis part. Okay, analysis part. So let us go through the problem statement first. A precast pre-tension beam. Okay, a precast pre-tension beam is there. That is at the bottom. Okay, of rectangular section having a breadth of 100 mm and a depth of 200 mm. So we have a precast beam of 100 mm width and 200 mm depth. Okay. The beam with an effective span of 5 meters, so the length is given as 5 meters, is pre-stressed by tendons with their centroids coinciding with the bottom cone. Okay. Then the initial force in the tendon is 150 kilonewton. The force is given. The loss of the pre-stress may be assumed as 15%. Okay, loss is given. The beam is incorporated with a composite T-beam by casting a top flange of breadth 400 mm and thickness 40 mm. So this is the cast in place slab. You can see here. Cast in place slab is later on added to this composite section. So the thickness here is given as 40 mm and the flange width here is 400 mm. So this forms your entire composite section. So this is cast in place, and this is your precast beam. So this is a pre-tension beam. If the composite beam supports a live load of 8 kilonewton per meter square, calculate the resultant stresses developed in the precast and in situ cast concrete, assuming pre-tension beam as unpropped and propped. Okay, both the conditions will be given and we need to calculate. Okay, assume the same modulus of elasticity for concrete in precast beam and in situ concrete slab. Okay. So this is the problem statement. Now let us just note down whatever is given first. We need to find out the stresses like I've shown you in the previous diagram. Right? Same thing we have to calculate now. So area of the cross section of the beam. Okay, this is for the precast beam that is given. Then a Z, that is the section modulus BD square by 6 for a rectangular section that we have calculated. Okay, this is also for a precast beam, okay, for the bottom beam. Then pre-stressing force is given as 150 kilonewton and this is acting at the bottom cone point. Okay. Stresses due to pre-stressing force, this is the formula that we'll be using. Stresses due to pre-stressing force. So 2P by A, this is the formula to calculate the stress due to pre-stressing force, that is 150 kilonewton. So substituting here 2P by A, it is 15 Newton per mm square. So that is the first thing that we have calculated. Then effective pre-stress is 15% loss they have told. Right? So 15% loss, if you consider, it will be 85% is the effective pre-stress, right? 85%. So we have written 0.85 into this 15. So it is a 12.8 Newton per mm squared. So what we have done, we have first calculated the stress due to pre-stressing force, that is this particular diagram. This is 12.8 and it is a 0 at the top. Okay, so this is what we have calculated first in the stress distribution diagram. Right, so this is positive. Okay, now moment due to self-weight. Self-weight of what? Self-weight of the precast beam. Self-weight of the precast beam, that is 0.1 into 0.2. That is breadth. This is breadth and this is the depth. Into 24, that will give you your self-weight of the beam. Self-weight of the beam, kilonewton per meter. Then that you substitute over here into L square. L is what? 4.8, 4.5 meters, right? 4.5 meters, that is given. 4.5 meters. So divided by 8, that is WL squared by 8. We get the moment due to self-weight, right? Self-weight of the precast beam.
Sir?
Yes?
Sir, I did not get the 2P by A part, sir.
2P by A, that is a standard thing that you have to use over here. Okay. I will just look into why they have used this thing. Okay, they are in the textbook also they have not given why they have used this thing. Okay, I'll just confirm with sir and I'll let you know why they have not used P by A, right? Whatever we have used in the previous problem, right? We just used P by A, but here they have used 2P by A, right? So that that reason also they have not mentioned. I'll just check with sir and I'll let you know. Okay, just remember, but you have to use 2P by A, okay, not P by A.
Yes, sir.
So once you calculate the moment due to dead load, that is self weight of the precast beam, self weight of the precast beam. Okay. So that is this particular thing. W L squared by 8, W L squared by 8, right? W we have calculated, substituting this particular W into L squared by 8. Okay, so L is 5 meters, okay, it is not 4.5, it is 5 meters. Okay, now stress at top and bottom fiber, you know, we use the formula M by Z, right? P by A plus or minus M by Z, what we do? Plus or minus, plus for top fiber, minus for bottom fiber, right? So P M by Z we have done over here, M by Z, and it is plus or minus, plus or minus. So it will be in this particular format. This is the second stress diagram that we have drawn. Okay, so this is plus and this is minus, and the value here is 2.25. 2.25. Both at the top and at bottom. So first is this one. This is the first one. Similarly, this is the second one. Okay. Now coming to the next thing. Now the next thing is also the same thing, right? It is like this. But depends if it is a propped or unpropped, right? Self weight of the self weight of the precast, self weight of the cast in situ slab we have to consider. Self weight, and the stresses developed because of this self weight that is included on the precast beam that we have to calculate. So the self weight of the cast in situ slab is 0.4, that is the width, and the depth is 40 mm. Into 24 we get the weight of the cast in situ slab. Okay. Now moment due to this particular load, that is WL squared by 8, that we have substituted here, and we have got the moment due to dead load of the cast in situ slab that is developed in the precast beam. Okay, stresses due to self weight of the cast in place slab in the precast section. Okay, in the precast section. So this 1200 Newton meter divided by the Z, right, section modulus, you also get the same thing, right? M by Z, same thing, plus or minus, plus for compression, minus for tension. So it is 1.8 at the top, plus and minus at the bottom. So this is the third thing which we have calculated. Okay. Now section properties of composite section. Whenever your section is propped while casting, right? Whenever it is propped, what you have to do, you have to consider the entire cross section. We have to consider the entire section, and we have to calculate this M by Z. Okay, so this is for unpropped. Whatever we have calculated now is for unpropped. Now we are getting into propped. Okay, the distance of the centroid from the top fiber we have to calculate first, because this is the entire composite section. We need to find out YB and YT, and then we need to calculate ZT and ZB, right? So this thing, if you want to calculate, we need to know first YB and YT, right? Y from the top and Y from the bottom. So we know this particular formula for that: summation of A Y bar divided by summation A, right? Area into the distance from the bottom fiber, right? Distance from the bottom fiber divided by summation of the areas. So we will consider first, that is the precast beam. Precast beam area is 100 into 200, 100 into 200 is the area, okay, multiplied by the centroid distance from the bottom. So this will be what? 200 by 2, that is 100, plus area of the top section, that is 400 into 40, and the centroid of this is over here. So this distance is what? 200 plus 20, 200 plus 20, that is 220. 220 divided by the total area. Total area, if you divide, you will get YB, and similarly we can get YT. Once you know YB and YT, you can calculate Z section modulus, right? But before that, we need to calculate I, modulus of the section, right? Second moment of area. So I plus AH square, I plus AH square is the particular formula that we will be using to calculate, right? So the first precast beam will consider BD cube by 12, BD cube by 12 plus area of this particular section into H square, So H will be from this particular centroid, that is YB, this particular centroid of the total section, to the centroid of the precast beam. This is H, okay, not Y, this is H. Same thing, H. Okay, H1 for the precast beam, and then similarly this will be H2. Okay, so you can easily calculate this. Similarly, we have solved many problems calculating I previously also. Same method we can follow and calculate section modulus for from the top fiber, from the bottom fiber, ZT and ZB.
Sir, that H1 and H2, sir, can you?
H1 and H2. Okay. So this is your cast in situ slab. Then we have our precast beam. This is the centroid of a precast beam. This is the centroid of your cast in place slab. Then this YB is from bottom 153. That is this is 200, right? This entire thing is 200. Entire thing this is 200, and this is 40. So 153 will be somewhere over here, right? 153. This is 153. That is YB. Similarly, this is YT. 87. Okay. This is H1. This particular height is H1. From this centroid to the centroid of your section. Now, from the total centroid to the centroid of your interested section is this. This is H2. Correct? So this is H1 and this is H2. Okay. So section modulus you can calculate similarly. Live load which is given to us 8 kilonewton per meter square. So a live load usually will be given in a kilonewton per meter, right? Per meter. But here they have given per meter square. So what you have to do, you have to multiply the breadth, right? You have to multiply the breadth over here. That is 0.4. 0.4 is the breadth of your top flange. You can see this breadth is 400 mm, right? 400 mm that we have multiplied, and that if you multiply, we have got it in Newton per meter, right? So that is usually the format that your live load is given. Any load, right? Dead load, live load is usually given in kilonewton per meter. Okay. So after converting that, then you can calculate the maximum moment, right? A moment due to live load, that is WL squared by 8. So WL squared by 8, if you do, you will get the moment due to live load. Okay. Now stresses, live load stresses in the composite section. I've told you live load, the stress due to live load, you have to consider the entire section while calculating the live load stresses. Okay, in both the cases, whether it is propped or unpropped, in both the cases you have to consider the whole section for calculation of your live load stresses. In this particular format, it will become. Okay, so this is YB. Okay, now this particular stress we need to calculate at the top fiber and at the bottom fiber. So it will be plus or minus, same value at top and at bottom. Okay, so at top it will be M by Z, right? And at bottom it will be M by ZB, ZT and ZB. The same moment will be same, but only change will be ZT, and here it will be ZB. So this will be plus, right? And this will be minus. Okay, so values will not be same. Sorry, I have told you values will be same. Here values will be changed because ZT and ZB values are different. So values will be changed. So here it will get 4.45 and the bottom will be 7.85. So this is the fourth one. Okay, so this is for propped as well as unpropped, propped construction as well as unpropped. Both will be the same. For both the cases, the diagram will be same. Okay. Now, as I've told you, for a propped section, while calculating one thing only, that the self-weight moment due to self-weight of the slab, moment due to self-weight of the slab, that will be acting as a composite. That will be acting on the entire composite section, right? So entire composite section has to be considered for this particular diagram. Right. So at the top it will be M by Z. So moment that is we have calculated previously 1200 divided by ZT and 1200 divided by ZB. ZT and ZB we get different moments, that is at the top 0.53 and at the bottom 0.94. M by Z, right? M by Z we have done. So M by ZT, M by ZB. So positive at the top, negative at the bottom. So all these figures now we have to summarize. We have to just add. We have to write down besides each other. You can see initial pre-stress 15, which we had calculated. Then we converted that to effective pre-stress, that is 85%, right? Then this is self-weight stresses in the beam. This is in the precast beam. You can see the stresses are only till the precast beam. You can see all these are till the level of precast beam. Then this is in unpropped. This is in unpropped condition. Okay, unpropped condition. Unpropped condition. You can see, as I've told you, whenever this cast in situ slab is added without any props, right? Whenever it is unpropped condition, the stresses that are developed here, the stresses that are developed in this section because of this addition will be shown over here. You can see 1.8 and 1.8. And whenever your cast in situ slab is placed and it is propped, supports are given from the bottom, right? So the entire section will be contributing for that. So entire section we have considered and we have calculated. Right, so here recently we have calculated at 0.53 and 0.94. That only we have placed over here. 0.53, 0.94. This intermediate value, right? Intermediate value that is at the level of your precast beam. This particular value, that is 0.28, you can calculate by interpolation. By similar triangles you can apply and you can calculate this 0.28 intermediate one. Okay. Then live load, I've told you, both will be same. It will be same for both the conditions, propped and unpropped. You can see 4.45 and 7.85, which we have calculated. And this intermediate value you can calculate by interpolation. Okay. Now this resultant thing that we resultant diagram which you see over here. Resultant stress diagram, right? So that is nothing but the summation of all the values. If you just summarize all the values, you will get the resultant value. Right? So you can see at this particular level, there is no other value, just 4.45 is only the value that is there. So that is written over here, 4.45. And at this level, just add, right, 2.25 plus 1.18 plus 2.4. The entire value you will get, this particular value you will get. Okay. Then at this level, just use the whatever symbol is here, right? Plus whatever is there. Consider the symbol and you add the sum. That is, you don't consider this thing, okay? Don't consider the initial one. Add from here. 2 plus 12.8 minus 2.25 minus 1.8 minus 7.85. That is equal to 0.9. So this thing, if you add algebraically, you will get 0.9. Okay. So with this, you can draw the resultant stress diagram. Similarly, if you follow the same rule over here, you can draw this particular resultant stress diagram. Don't consider this initial stress diagram. Leave this out. Consider only this part from here. This will be minus, this will be minus, this will be also minus. Okay, so in this way, you can solve your particular analysis problem. If you remember this stress diagrams, you can easily solve for propped and unpropped conditions. Okay, so these are a bit lengthy. If you consider from your previous modules, these are a bit lengthy, a bit confusing. They are not tough. They are a bit confusing. If you practice, you will be perfect in this. Okay, any doubt in this particular numerical? If you have, you can ask. Okay, so problem, the thing that you have to do is plus p by, this is always plus, right? Then plus or minus m by z, right? Plus or minus m by z. Same thing, everywhere it is plus or minus m by z. This particular value, this is your pre-stress, in your stress due to pre-stressing. This is due to self-weight of the precast beam. This particular thing is due to self-weight of the cast in place slab. This is due to self-weight of the cast in place slab. This is due to live load. Okay, so this is the formula that you have to use. Entire thing. Okay, then you will get the resultant. Okay, so P by A, this is always positive, this is plus or minus, this is plus or minus, this is also plus or minus. Okay. So but this Z value, you have to be careful while substituting. Here, no problem, you can substitute directly Z, but here you have to use composite section if it is propped. Okay, you have to use composite if it is propped. Here you have to use composite compulsorily for both propped as well as unpropped. So I hope it is clear. Okay. Sandesh and who is present, Sri Narayan is present.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay, no problem. Okay, we'll solve one more similar problem we'll try to solve. Okay, can anyone please read the problem statement for me? Second one.
A rectangular pre-tensioned concrete beam has a breadth of 100 mm and depth of 230 mm, and at the pre-stress after all losses have occurred is 12 Newton per mm square at the soffit and 0 at the top. The beam is incorporated in a composite I-beam by casting a top flange of breadth 300 mm and depth 50 mm. Calculate the maximum UDL, uniformly distributed live load, that can be supported on a simply supported span of 4.5 meters without any tensile occurring.
Conditions they have given, no, A and B.
Yes. Condition A, if the slab is externally supported while casting, and condition B, if the pre-tension beam supports the weight of the slab while casting.
So can you tell me what is the meaning of these two conditions?
So propped and unpropped.
Which one is propped over
One
here?
is propped, sir.
First one is propped.
Yeah, and second one is unpropped.
Unpropped, right? So they have just given it in a form of a statement.
Yeah.
So a rectangular pre-tension concrete beam. So I have drawn over here. You can say this is the cast in place slab, and this is the pre-tension precast beam. Okay, precast beam. Okay. So these particular values are not given. Okay, we have to calculate this YT and YB later on. Right. So this is width, the width of the flange, thickness of the flange, depth of the beam. This is the width of the beam. Okay, so these are the conditions that are given. So area of the cross section we have calculated. We are dealing with the pre-tension beam. Okay, we are dealing with the T pre-tension beam because you can see here all of this is calculate these calculations here. All these are related to the precast beam only. And whenever we are dealing with live load only, then we have to consider the composite section Z. Okay, so up till here, what we can do is up till here, we can easily calculate all the things using the section properties of the beam. Okay, not of the composite. And for unpropped, for propped, we have to consider here the section of your section modulus of the composite entire beam, right? In cast in place slab as well as precast beam. Right. So we are only calculating regarding pre-tension beam initially. So A and Z we have calculated. Z, I hope you know, section modulus is BD square by 6. BD square by 6 directly we can calculate. No need of going I by Y. So self weight of the precast beam, that is 0.1 and 0.23. 0.1 and 0.23 multiplied by the density of concrete. So this is the self weight of the precast beam. Then moment due to that self weight of the beam, WL squared by 8 kilonewton per meter, kilonewton meter. Then stresses at top and bottom fiber. Stresses at top and bottom fiber. M by Z, right? I've told you plus or minus M by Z. So moment which we have calculated just now, that divided by the section modulus. So this is what we have got. This is plus at the top and at the bottom. So this is the second one. First one is what? First one is this particular stress due to effect. This is the effective stress, or if the losses are not given, this is just the initial pre-stress. Initial pre-stress, that is due because of P by A, right? P by initial pre-stress. This is the first diagram. This is the second diagram. Okay, so we have got that. Now self weight of the cast in situ slab. Self weight of the cast in situ slab. This is the depth and this is the width and this is the density. You have got the self weight of the cast in situ slab. Moment due to the self weight of the cast in situ slab is 0.36 into length WL squared by 8. So this is moment. Using this moment, we can calculate the stresses, right? So these stresses are in the precast section. Remember, this is not in the in the cast in the slab, right? This is in the precast beam, right? Because of the self weight of the slab. Okay, because this is which condition? This is unpropped. This is unpropped condition. Unpropped condition. So m by z, normally what we substitute, m by z we have substituted plus or minus 1.30034. So this is the third diagram which we have drawn. Plus or minus, third thing. Now, if it is a propped condition, what will be the change if it is a propped one? If it is propped instead of unpropped, what will be the change over here? Can you identify? What will be the changes that we have to do?
Section modulus of composite section is used.
So here, instead of Z that we have used here, instead of the section modulus of the beam, we have to use section modulus of the entire composite section. Right? This entire section we have to consider. We have to calculate the area. We have to calculate moment of inertia. Then we have to calculate YT. We have to calculate YB. And after this, we can calculate ZT and ZB. Once you calculate ZT and ZB, just substitute that ZT and ZB over here instead of this, right? You will get the stress at the top thing, top fiber, and at the bottom fiber, right? So this is the changes in propped condition. Okay, so before we get into that, we shall calculate all the things regarding unpropped condition. Okay, so third we have drawn, right? Third, this is done. Third is done. Plus or minus, that is plus or minus 1.034. Okay. Now, section properties of the composite section. So Ixx is equals to I plus AH square. I hope you can do this calculation. Directly answer has been written over here. Okay. YB and YT, similarly as we have done in the previous numerical, same method you can follow, and you can calculate YT and YB. So it is 170.26 from the bottom and 109.74. That is nothing but the neutral axis, right? Location of the neutral axis, which I have drawn over here, you can see, right? So YT and YB we have calculated. This is nothing but the neutral axis, right, of the entire composite section. Okay. So composite section, once you get the properties, you can calculate ZT and ZB. ZT and ZB we have calculated. Then live load is not given. This we have to determine. This is to be determined. Live load on the composite section, maximum live load that it can handle, and that has to be determined. So WLL, this is the live load that is acting on the beam, right? That is this particular live load, W, small w. Okay, we'll consider it as small w. Okay, so WLL, that capital this thing, capital WLL, that is 0.3 is the width, and this is the per meter thing, right? Per meter we calculate into W, so it will be 0.3 W kilonewton per meter. So this small w is what? Kilonewton per meter square. Small w is in kilonewton per meter square. So to convert it to kilonewton per meter, we have multiplied this by the breadth of the flange. Breadth of the flange, that is 0.3. So we have got WLL. So similarly, we can calculate moment due to live load, substituting it as it is, right? 0.3 W, we shall substitute it as it is. Even if we do not know, we will keep it as it is. So simplifying this thing, we will get the moment due to, sorry, this is per meter. This is per meter. This is 0.76 W kilonewton meter. Okay. Next, live load stresses in composite section. Live load stresses in composite section. As I've told you, live load stresses we have to calculate using the entire section. Right, so it is common for propped as well as unpropped. So at the top fiber, it is nothing but m by z, right? M by z, it is positive at the top fiber and negative at the bottom fiber. Okay. So moment which we have calculated, same we have substituted here. Section modulus we already know, zt and zb. Substituted those over here and here. So we have got the live load stresses in the composite section. That is this particular diagram. At the top fiber, it is 0.295 W. and here it is 0.45 W. This is minus, this is plus, and this thing I've told you, we have to consider the entire section like this. Okay. So once this is known for unpropped, now we will calculate for unpropped. For unpropped condition, the stresses are all as shown in the figure at the end. Right here, you can see stresses are like this for unpropped. Right, this is the effective pre-stress 12, which we have calculated the first diagram. Then this is the second one, which we have calculated self-weight stresses due to self-weight of the precast beam. Self-weight of the precast beam stresses developed. You can see this is common plus or minus same value at the top and at the bottom. Now this is what? This is your unpropped condition. Unpropped condition. And in unpropped condition, the stresses due to the self-weight of the slab, self-weight of the slab, as I've told you, we have to consider just the precast beam. So it is plus or minus 1.034. This also calculation we have done. This is due to live load. This fourth one is due to live load, which we have just calculated right now. Live load stresses. So as I've told you, you have to consider the entire depth of the section for this calculation. This is plus, this is minus. Okay. Now in the numerical, you might have read that it at the soffit, that is at the bottom, the tensile stresses are 0 at the soffit. This is the given condition, right? This is given in the problem statement. So what we have done at the bottom, we have just equated all the things, equated it to 0. This all these values, right? Plus 12 minus 1.585, can see minus 1.585, and minus 1.034, minus 1.034, and this particular minus 0.45, minus 0.45 W is equated to 0, right? So just equate all this thing, equate it to 0, and solving, you will get W as 20.5 kilonewton per meter square. This is the live load that it can handle in unpropped condition. In unpropped condition, the live load that can be handled by this beam in unpropped condition. Similarly, for propped condition, we can calculate now. Moment due to slab weight is given, right? This we have calculated previously. Moment due to the self weight of the slab. Moment due to the self weight of the slab. So stresses at the top, stresses at the bottom, right? So stresses at the top, that is this particular diagram. Stresses at the top and at the bottom. For the prop condition, it is 0.35, and here it is 0.548. It is nothing but m by z, right? M by z. Here it is zt, and here it is zb. That is the entire section modulus we have considered, composite section. We have substituted, we have got the values.
Sir, while solving an exam, sir,
Yes.
we have this value, right? 0.548. We cannot round figure it to 0.55, right?
No, don't round it off, okay? Because the values will be very nearby, right? 0.53, 0.51, and 0.54. Right, there will be very nearby. So don't round it off. Use 3 decimal places.
Okay.
Don't round off. Don't round.
You need the exact values in the exam.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So here for the second condition, similarly as we have done and equated it to 0, right? The tensile stresses at the bottom. Similarly, we have just equated those to 0, but instead here you can see the value of this particular value we are going to use. Okay, this is for propped condition. Solving, we will get W as 21.6. So for unpropped, it is 20 point something, 20.5. So for unpropped it is 20.5, and for propped it is 21.6. So this is the live load that can be handled by the beam in unpropped condition and in propped condition. This is what was required. So you have solved. So this is one more numerical which you have solved. I hope it is clear. If you have any doubts, you can ask. No doubt, Ray? Clear?
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay. So with this, I think we can stop today, and we shall continue with a few more numericals in the next class.
Yes, sir.
Can give your attendance.